Hey, yo, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? And this recording it is April 10th. You know what I mean? April 10th, 2025. You know what I mean? And also this recording it is 10:53 a.m. You know what I mean? In a little bit I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and wash some dishes. Before I do that, I want to give a big happy birthday shout out to this girl named Janelle. You know what I mean? Listen, there's two type of females I like. I love dark-skinned females, and I like, big females too. When I mean big, I mean not fucking fat and shit. No. Someone who look like Kelly Price or, a little bit more like, on the chubby side and stuff. You know what I mean? And this girl look good than a motherfucker. Like big girls got the prettiest faces. They do. Big girls, plus size girls, they got the prettiest faces, hands down. You know what I mean? And this girl is gorgeous than a motherfucker. She looked like, okay. What can I compare to? She looked like, you remember the singer Miss Jones? She looked like the 90s version of Miss Jones, but a plus size version of her. Miss Jones was a dime too. At that time. Now, I don't know about now, but at that time, yeah. So shout out to her. Shout out to that, shout out to the girl Janelle. To the sickos, how was Dynamite last night? Oh, man. Let me tell you, right? Dynamite, All Elite Wrestling. What the fuck are y'all doing, man? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even see the show. I seen the reviews, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I seen clips here and there on Twitter, but man, there was a report from I believe Fightful saying that Jon Moxley is getting ready to get a lengthy run with the AEW Championship, and I'm like, wow. The Death Riders is the fucking magnum opus of Jon Moxley's AEW career. And he's not the only one. Because at one point, think about this, right? And all four of these guys that I'm about to mention were here. I mean, they were in the show, but they were also some of the OGs. They were the four most important OGs of, the four most important talents of the OG AEW. Okay? He was one of them. Chris Jericho was another one. MJF and Kenny Omega. I have a lot of things to say about Kenny Omega and MJF in a bit. But let me start with Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho. How the fuck? Remember, Jon Moxley was a person who they depended on, right? Who AEW depended on and such. Right? And now he's just a person who he's a Boarfest wrestler. You know what I mean? He's a Boarfest wrestler. Now it's to the point where, because of this, because of this storyline and the Death Rider shit, there is no way that you can look at Jon Moxley the same again at this point. Now I see why, he was the less important member of the Shield. He was. I mean, he was. I mean, listen, Dean Ambrose was great. You know what I mean? But I think with him by himself as, storyline-wise and such, he does, creative-wise, he's not great. Jon Moxley is not great creative-wise. And this storyline killed him. It basically killed his aura. You know what I mean? He was better off. 2018, 2019, Jon Moxley was better than this shit. Way better. I'm trying to tell you that the truth. Way better. Right? Dead. Someone said that, he needs to go back to WWE. I mean, listen, if he goes back to WWE, I mean, he's still going to be a third wheel. He proved, AEW proved that he's not important at this point. If this was 2019, 2020, Jon Moxley, okay, yeah. But this version, you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to WWE. I really wouldn't. Chris Jericho, another person, right? this fucking, the learning tree thing just, I don't know. And mind you, he's on a contract year. He's basically leaving. He basically walked out on the learning tree, right? On the learning tree stable, whatever the fuck you call that stable, right? He left Ryan Keefe and fucking Big Cass, aka Big Bill, off to dry and shit. Because he's, Chris Jericho is going to do the whole Fozzy shit, right? But mind you, like, it's his contract year and such. I don't know what happens from there. I don't. I honestly do not know. I don't want him to go back to WWE, but this scares me. This scares the fuck out of me. It really does. I would not want Jericho back in WWE, but this scares me. And the more that we don't see him back in AEW and him not resigning, the more the chances are high. And I'm scared of that. I don't want to see Chris Jericho back in WWE. I'm sorry. Especially if this is not the Painmaker Chris Jericho, I'm not doing it. MJF. What the fuck is happening to MJF? Now he's basically become a bitch to the Hurt Syndicate. You know what I mean? Like, he's a bitch to the Hurt Syndicate, yo. Like this, I'm like, wow. Remember, he was once AEW's diamond in the rough, right? Now, he's half of that. You know what I mean? He's half the brain that you guys are. Rest in peace to Sid. You know what I mean? He needs to go to WWE. He needs to go to WWE. I'm sorry. I am absolutely sorry. But MJF needs to go to WWE. He needs to. At this point, he needs to. Because, man, like, they're not doing shit with MJF. They're not. MJF was never like this. Ever. Even if you bring Wardlow back, what the fuck can you do with MJF? Huh? What the fuck can you do with MJF in AEW? Nothing. He's just standing there like there's basically nothing. And last but not least, the cleaner, Kenny Omega. Oh, man. What the fuck are we doing? Last night showed that not only he was uninterested, but he does not want to be there. It's like ever since he came back to AEW, showed like he doesn't. He said fuck AEW. He's like he doesn't want to. He does not want to. He no longer. He no longer fits. This version of AEW anymore. He doesn't. That's another man who needs to come to WWE. And I strongly believe that will happen. I'm more than positive that will happen. At some point. It's not even a matter if, but when. Because I know Triple H love him. Triple H loves Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? And, Kenny Omega is not an AEW lifer. He's not. He's fucking not. Whatever's going on in this version of AEW, he is not feeling. He clearly is not feeling. And then, the beef with the Young Bucks and, it's just, he's not interested in that. Like, even Sunday, when he walked out, he's like, fuck this shit. See, again, it seems like he does not want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say he's losing his passion for wrestling because he's not. Because it's not. But I think, AEW kills passions for people. It does. You know what I mean? It really does. And I think, it's killing the passion for Kenny Omega. I strongly feel that him and MJF are better off in WWE. They're better off. They're way better off in WWE. Way better off. Because, I think they'll have a lot more happiness there. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like they work better with structure. They work way better with structure. And that's the thing, too, with a lot of talent. Like, remember, those four talents, that's his name. They were the heart and soul of AEW back in 2019, 2020. That's gone, brother. That is done. What you see now is a shell of all four. You know what I mean? It's a shell of all four. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if all four land in WWE within the next 2 years. Within the next 2 or 3 years. I wouldn't be shocked. I honestly would not be shocked. because there's nothing there at AEW at this point. There's nothing. There is nothing. Like, Tony Khan just basically, and mind you, like, he's pushing these motherfuckers out. You know what I mean? So, it's just wow. And you know what? Let me go back to Jon Moxley real quick. He's going to hold on to that AEW World Championship past All Out, not All In. Because there was a report, like I said, there was a report from Fightful about, Jon Moxley getting a lengthy, and I might have repeated myself, but I don't give a fuck. A lengthy AEW championship run. And it's gonna get past All Out. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you straight up. Man, this company is in trouble. If your four OG talents, don't have that same oomph, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And I know the sickos don't like what I'm saying, but I don't give a fuck. I speak the truth. I speak the fucking truth. I mean, it is what it is. I'm definitely going to be making some videos today for sure. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot to fucking say. All right, so I'm about to be out. Now I'm about to go get dressed to go to the supermarket. So I'm going to check y'all. Peace!